Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
And that is the new entry SUV from Hyundai. That is the 2024 Hyundai Kona. This is the limited trim. And we are in Charleston, South Carolina, and today we're going to take a tour of it. Stay tuned. All right, Gearheads, first thing I want to do is thank Hyundai for flying both of us out to Charleston to experience this vehicle. Huge props to them. But before we get started with anything, I've already got the hood popped. Let's talk about what motivates this SUV. First and foremost, I can say I really like, I'm going to show you here as I lift it up, even though we are in their entry SUV, it has gas struts, no prop rod on this one. Very nice. So our limited trim is one of the top two trims, and it gets the 1.6 liter turbocharged four-cylinder, making 190 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. The SE and SEL trims get the 2 liter naturally aspirated four, making 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. That 2 liter is mated to a CVT, whereas this 1.6 is mated to an 8-speed automatic, which I actually generally prefer 9 times out of 10 over a CVT. Closing the hood, we can definitely see the family resemblance to some of their Ioniq models, the Ioniq 5 and 6, with this LED light bar. And you may be thinking, well, that's a little weird considering I just showed you a gasoline engine under the hood. This was designed to be an EV first and foremost. So EV production just started in Korea. We should be getting those very soon here in the States. But for right now, we get the 2 liter naturally aspirated or that 1.64. But the styling of this one, you can see that LED light bar that goes across the front, very reminiscent of the Ioniq sub-brand. And then the separated headlight housing, something that was a design hallmark of the original Kona, which debuted in 2018, is here in the 2024 model. One of the mantras that they kept preaching during the design phase of this vehicle was, it's still a Kona. There were still things that they wanted to accentuate and keep that really kept it a Kona by nature, but also leaning into that EV future, leaning into the fact that this was designed as an EV first. And one of those things are these active grille shutters up front here at speed for fuel efficiency and aerodynamic efficiency. Those can close, really giving the full nose of this vehicle a more aerodynamic profile. And they're very proud of the nose of this vehicle. It is definitely a unique look, but is somewhat foreshadowing what I feel the replacement for the Palisade will look like, and what the electric version of the Palisade will look like when we get that sometime very soon. But moving around to the side here, you can see the black plastic arched cladding on the side, again giving it that more rugged SUV-like look for something that is, well, their entry level. But you had some points that you wanted to make about the side here, and what was that, babe?
Yeah, I really like how it cuts in on the sides, and down at the bottom you've got those nice sharp lines all around it, which gives it just an interesting look that most SUVs don't have. And I like the wheels. They're really fun, a lot of fun.
So yes, Hyundai has really been knocking it out of the park with their wheel designs. These 5-spoke, 5-lug wheels. A very cool star pattern on this, wrapped in some Kumho Majesty tires. These are 235/45 R19s. So very fun 19-inch wheel design. And then some of the design points that she was talking about just a second ago, coming around to the side, you can see that sharp crease on the body side there that really goes up in around the back. We've got this satin finish that wraps up and around the tail of the vehicle. And as we get to the back, you can see a lot of design themes from the front are carried around back here to the back. You get that LED light bar that runs across the back with the separated taillight housing in that black plastic cladding. that is very unique and different. And then they were very proud of the placement and the design of the center mounted high stop lamp, or chimsel as it is come to be known in the design world. But then you get that Hyundai logo on the back and Kona. One thing they did call out is this now has a hands-free power liftgate. I left the vehicle on and the key inside, so I can't demonstrate that for you, but a lot of interior space that you wanted to demonstrate something as we were back here, right, Holly? And they were very proud of just how much interior volume they were able to bring to this vehicle.
Yeah, but for a shorty like me, one of the things that they also upgraded from the previous models is that it's a lower loading deck here. So it's really easy to just put stuff in here, groceries and stuff like that. A lot of times the bigger SUVs, it's really hard for a short person to load everything up here. So I really like the lower loading deck that they have.
And the button is up there. It does have a wide opening hatch, but at 5 foot, how easy is it? Don't push it, but just give us a demonstration. Yeah, okay. So very nice there. And then something they brought up. So I've been critical of these hard parcel shelves in vehicles, in that they kind of take up your passenger or your cargo space. But one thing that they thought of, you can see it's kind of hinged here on this plastic part. And pop it out of place, and yeah, give it a nice, there you go. And there is actually a storage position down low here, as Holly gets it into place. So now you still have it in the vehicle. It is still available to you if you want it, if you need it, but hidden out of place just gives you a nice storage option for that. And you can see we could lock it into place if we wanted. There's also some hidden underfloor storage here, which is where they've got the spare tire. And a few window stickers on this one. I'll go ahead and remove all this. You can see this is a temporary spare, is not a regular use. It's not the same Kumho Majesty tire as what we've got in there. And then another trick feature of this rear cargo compartment is it is a dual level floor. So you can drop it down lower and get just a little more vertical height. You can see this last little section does pivot up, so that when you've got the 60/40 seat backs folded, you have a nice transition. But if you just need a little bit more room back here, you can absolutely get it very quickly and easily, just like that. One thing I want to show before we hop inside is the key. It is actually the Hyundai logo. If you look at it, turned sideways, but we've got everything on here: lock, unlock, panic button, and your remote start. We also have Smart Park available on this vehicle, so your Smart Park functions are there on the side, but you can keep that key in your pocket or your purse because it is a passive entry system. You can lock it there, unlock it by putting your hand on the back and just moving to the inside. As we look inside, we get a very nice clean look, very reminiscent of the Ioniq 5 and 6. You can see power and express up down front windows, power rear windows with your lockout, your mirror controls, all that. Nice little bit of storage here on the side. We do get a power driver's seat with lumbar, which is a nice look. And then these are H-Tex wrapped seats that are heated and ventilated. They are 30% slimmer than the outgoing Kona seats, which we'll talk about more as we get into the back. But coming in here and looking at the gauge cluster, we have twin 12.3-inch screens. Go ahead and push our foot on the brake and push the start button. You can see the updated tech in here, the new look. Over here, we've got our brightness control, traction control, hill descent control, your hatch button right here, and electronic parking brake. All your driver assistance features and controls for customizing the screen up there. You can see we've been in this one for 38 miles, averaging 28.3 with that little 1.6. We'll talk more about this in the drive, but new look to the infotainment. I like the physical controls for everything. We're not having to dig through the screen, so I like that we have physical controls still for your climate, for your audio. Moving down here, we have USB-C charging. We have a Qi wireless charger. We have a household style plug in this. Lots of options for charging, more physical controls for your heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats, auto hold in traffic, your parking sensors, and your cameras. I really like the camera system in the Hyundai products that we get. Close Holly's door there, show you just what that 360 looks like, that bird's eye view, and then you can actually pan around the vehicle. I really like what Hyundai does with their vehicles and their camera systems. It is really cool all the way around. We get our drive mode control here. You can see we're in normal. Switch it over to sport, it goes racy, and then we've got snow, it kind of goes icy. So my favorite is sport. And then down here at the center console, we'll touch on that more as we're driving, but lots of openness to this center console that may or may not be one of our favorite things. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Coming up here are our controls for our standard size sunroof, and you can see me at 5'10". This is where I would sit. This is a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel, but all around very comfortable in here, right?
Yeah.
Let's pop into the back seat and see what that's like before we hop in and take this for a drive. Moving to the back seat, you can see much of the same materials and look. No sunshades back here, even on the limited model, which again, this being the entry into their SUVs, I didn't really expect. But climbing in and sitting behind myself, I'm going to go ahead and close that for all the noise outside, but sitting behind myself at 5'10", they're talking about the seats being 30% slimmer than the outgoing model, which translates to more rear seat space. And I can say, I've got plenty of room back here. You look quite comfortable sitting behind yourself at 5 foot.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say that my seat is not pushed all the way up. I have this pulled very far back because we're road tripping. But yeah, there's plenty of space here.
So we have a cargo net on the back of the passenger, nothing on the back of the driver, but hard plastic. So Tucker would definitely be kicking that. We do get air vents, which are new for the 2024 model, which we really like. We would prefer them being in the ceiling, but we like having them versus not. And more USB power back here. A little bit of interesting storage that just kind of mimics what's up front. It's open and weird. Then we do have a fold down center armrest right here that doesn't flop all the way to the bottom. I really like that. And a 60/40 split bench seat. You can see from us right here, this is what headroom looks like at 5'10" and 5 foot. Very comfortable back seat in this one, but let's hop behind the wheel and see how this thing drives. All right, Holly, we're doing a little something different with the drive of this one, but we're actually going to get to drive another model after lunch. I'm actually behind the wheel. You are getting this hit shotgun, which will allow you to kind of explore the interior a little bit more as we go through it and talk about some of the things we like, don't like here in this one. We already did an exterior walk around and I did a quick interior look. So first, what are your thoughts and opinions on the outside of this new Kona?
Well, I really like the design.
Yeah.
They said that it is design focused and you can tell that, and I really like it.
What do you think of that light strip across the front?
I like the light strip. There's one across the front and one across the back. But what I really like are the lines and angles and the cuts into it. It's really nice. And the wheels are really fun.
Hyundai, as a family of brands, has really been knocking it out of the park with unique wheel designs. So very unique wheels on this one, and I suspect slightly more aggressive wheels on what we'll be driving this afternoon. But moving inside, what are your thoughts in here?
I like it. It does give me Ionic vibes.
Yes.
Does it to you too?
Yes.
Yes.
You can very clearly tell it's the same family
for sure
that made this, but yeah.
I really like this material. I'm not sure. It's like a silver, but it looks, yeah, kind of metallic, but not like shiny in your face and not like that slick black that gets the dust layer over it. So I'm a big fan of that, along with the cream colored interior and the black of the dashboard. I think it all fits really well.
Do you want to talk tech or storage first?
Let's go tech.
Two 12.3-inch screens up here. The infotainment is a touch screen, which I really like. And while our current vehicle, currently, does not have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it will be getting it with an over-the-air update in 2024. Thank you, Hyundai, for finally giving us wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on your more premium trims, because this is the limited. Very much like that. It's got the new infotainment system, the new layout of it. So I'm going to go ahead right here and go into the Hyundai screens. You can kind of see what the new look of it will be. It's a little more Genesis to me. It feels a little more like Genesis, so kind of moving upscale a little bit. But you can see it is very quick, responsive, and snappy. And then the gauge cluster here is slightly reworked. We're in sport mode right now, so a little bit different look to the gauges. Definitely giving me more EV vibes.
For sure.
Like you said, the Ioniq. And then we've got the magnetic pad over here, kind of like the Ioniq 5. It's just a magnetic pad, so you can put whatever you need over here, reminders, succulents, whatever the case may be over here.
I like it. One feature was the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That is fun as well. That you can have a
built-in Wi-Fi.
Built-in Wi-Fi and work on the road.
And then, okay, so storage is something you always bring up, and it is something they brought up multiple times in the feature set demonstration. A lot of attention was paid towards storage in here. I mean, you've got this massive tray in front of you. How big's the glove box? Very large glove box.
Not damped.
Not damped, not felt lined, but entry level into the brand. What are your thoughts on overall storage in here?
I think I like this little tray in front of me. A nice big spot over in the door as well with a cup holder that we've been able to stash a lot of things. Obviously, I've put my phone like right here in the handle. Now, one thing they talked about was the console, or lack thereof. They've moved the gear shifts over here onto the steering wheel so that you could have this open area right here in the console. I'm not sure that I love the open concept.
Yeah, so open concept in housing, the big concern there is noise overflow. Open concept in storage is stuff.
All of my crap is out there in the open.
You can't hide anything.
Can't hide a thing.
Yeah, and
but
goes all the way into here.
It goes all the way. Yeah, you do have this little handle here for this tiny little removable thing. Yeah, I'm not sure I love the open concept.
Yeah.
It wouldn't deter me from buying the car, but I'm not sure. I guess these go in.
Yes. So you can have a completely open center here if you remove both your drinks. Just tons of open space. This even has a partition here. Or you can start kind of sectioning it off. Yeah, it's a little too open.
Little too open.
In my opinion. I like what they're going for. They're trying to give more options. It's a little too more.
It's a little too more. Not a space for your purse.
No.
I do like when they have the undercarriage, is not to call it.
Oh no. The undercarriage.
I would rather have like a space here with the undercarriage for your purse, but yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, they could have gone a little higher and had like a bridge and done some underneath storage. The undercarriage. But you know, teach their own, right?
Yeah.
They really talked on noise, vibration, and harshness. Comfort and ride. What have been your experiences so far in these seats?
Yeah.
And down some like cobblestone roads.
Yeah, it's been really comfortable ride, I think. Pretty smooth.
They compared this to the next level up in their lineup, which would be the Tucson. They were very proud of the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, being to the level of their compact crossover, which is an even more competitive segment than this one. But I would say it is on par with that. It does not feel like an entry SUV. It feels like a more premium
luxury, yeah. For sure.
Especially being in this limited trim. Seat comfort,
I like it. It is on the firmer side. But we've been in the car for a little while now, and my booty and my back are not hurting. I haven't tested any of the adjustments.
Do you have power over there?
No.
I've got power over here. So again, that goes to this being the entry into the brand's SUV lineup. I have a power seat with lumbar. We do have heat and ventilation.
I don't think I have lumbar over here either.
But we do have
I could do without the power seats if I have heat and ventilation.
Which I've used both already today. We started off quite chilly. I'm still wearing my jacket, but I've got my ventilation on now, and it works.
Yeah.
And then safety tech. Hyundai has got their full safety suite standard across the lineup. There's a lot of stuff standard across the lineup. So we're in that top limited trim, but every Kona model gets 12.3-inch screens. Every model gets their full safety suite of technology. And there are a few optional add-ons like the blind spot cameras when you put the blinker on, stuff like that. Other comfort and convenience features I'm looking at. You've got your visor pulled out over there.
Yeah, it's a nice visor. Has a light, and you can turn on and off. There's a sunroof here.
So yeah, we have a standard sized sunroof here, but what I don't care too much for on it is it has a power retractable shade, which you don't need on a standard sized. It is a little bit larger than a standard size, but I feel like it's over engineering. Just give me a simple shade up there. So I feel like they went too premium.
Nah.
You like it?
I like it.
Okay. Teach their own, right?
I guess it opens too, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Hyundai notoriously just does everything in one switch, so you have to be careful how aggressive you are with it. Otherwise it'll open up.
One thing that we probably won't get to see on this video that I'm surprised is in a lower trim model or entry level vehicle is the ambient lighting.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for ambient
multiple colored lighting. Same. Yeah. I like that.
All right, so we are in the limited model, which comes standard with the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4. The base engine is a naturally aspirated 2 liter. We lost 5 horsepower over the outgoing Kona, but we're mated to an 8-speed automatic, no CVT, which I know you don't care as much about, but I like a traditional geared transmission 9 times out of 10. And I already mentioned I am in sport mode. We're going to slow down a little and do kind of a rolling start. See what this 190 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque is like. You ready?
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad for an entry level. It is a little on the noisy side under the hood. Hearing a little bit of engine noise, but I mean, when you're pushing a little 1.6 liter, that's about what you would expect. Not fair to do a rolling start, but I did want to see exactly what that 8-speed would do in sport mode as we're kind of cruising down the road here. All right, so that wasn't exactly fair. So I'm going to do a full stop and see what this thing can do accelerating in sport mode from a full stop. So you ready, babe?
Yes.
Here we go. Oh, that turbo kicks in, you know it. There's 60. I mean, not a bad, it's a pretty peppy little vehicle. For having under 200 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque, I'd say not bad. It's definitely going to be a great commuter vehicle. A little fun to toss around. other driving impressions of it, the steering is light, but not like you have to drive it with your fingertips delicately. We were navigating around some tight spaces downtown. It was very easy to maneuver. The vehicle size is very important. It did grow nearly 6 inches over the outgoing model.
Yes.
But they said the whole vibe of this car is for like urbanites just itching for the weekend, ready to get out and go explore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they built our drive today. So we were downtown Charleston on cobblestone alleyways
with
and
construction
yes,
and delivery trucks, and it was very easy to maneuver in and out of those tight situations. One thing that I really liked is that they said that a lot of thought went into how they utilized the space in the car. So it's not the biggest SUV on the market, but it does beat out some of the larger SUVs for legroom because of the way they designed the interior of the car.
Class-leading interior passenger volume.
Yeah.
So they went from bottom of the pack with the last gen to class-leading, which is quite impressive.
Yes, really nice.
And I would say the biggest surprise across the board with this vehicle is that it's a pandemic car. It was designed, they started work on this March of 2020, and we all know what happened March of 2020. So the fact that they were able to design, engineer, and get this vehicle out to the public in those situations right out of the gate is very impressive. And I've noticed some other vehicles that have been through those times having some odd quirks to the interior, which could be why this doesn't quite work for us. It looks good on paper, but in reality, when you actually get the car, I don't know. But I've been in some other vehicles where like just placement of charge cords, you're like, did you not test that? And the answer is probably no, because pandemic work from home type situations, you don't get to
across the globe.
Yeah, build it quite as much. And yes, to your point, this is a world car, partnerships with people across the globe working to make this vehicle happen. So I'm very impressed with the vehicle, even more impressed knowing it's a pandemic vehicle.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this limited model before I try and get you to guess the price? Because I did snag a picture of the window sticker back there. Any other thoughts?
No.
Okay. Care to guess the price? I will caveat, you were in the presentation, this is their entry SUV, but this being the limited is their nicest version of their entry into the SUV market. What say you?
Being the frugal one of the two of us, I, not surprisingly, did pay attention to the price points of these cars, these SUVs, and I am, so I have a pretty close guess. What was it, about 31, 32?
That is where this starts, but what do you think for this one?
Oh, for this limited one? That's where this one starts?
Yeah, that's where this trim starts, so we do have some options on this one.
Okay, so we had some options. Okay, 37.
No.
Okay.
35.
Okay, I will tell you that 37, 35, 31, I think this car is a steal.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%, because this feels like some of the luxury cars that we've driven around, close to 6 figures.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely tell there are some things that it doesn't have, like a head-up display. It's some things like that. But if I was just a regular consumer jumping in this car, would definitely not think this car cost in the 30s.
Yeah. It really is a premium vehicle. It feels very upscale. Rides like it. It is quiet. Very, very well done. Very impressed, again, with this vehicle. And then the price point, yes.
It's better than any of the Audis we've driven.
Shade thrown. Well, there you have it, gearheads. Very strong opinions of this 2024 Hyundai Kona Limited from a female consumer over here. If you want to go see more stuff that she's thought, written, published, go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all the things, or go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, behind the wheel of the 2024 Hyundai Kona Limited, let's say a thumbs up Hyundai, and until next time, bye. We could probably do.
Well, I did want to talk about the cargo space
Okay.
hole being bigger.
Okay.
And lower. A
Call it a
lower.
hole. Okay. Any other?
I'll call it a hole. I do like when they have the undercarriage, is what I like to call it.
Oh, no.
The undercarriage is